Hey guys, welcome to the next installment of choir practice with Father Brad. Today we're going to go through what's called the Pater Noster. Now, if you're not familiar, the Pater Noster is Latin for Our Father. And you probably thought about this in your life, but most of our prayers are just named after the first words of that prayer, whether they be in Latin or in English or in Spanish or in Mandarin or whatever language you're speaking. So the first words of the Our Father are Our Father. Our Father. It's hard to say. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So we call it the Our Father, also sometimes called the Lord's Prayer, since he's the one who taught us the prayer. When the apostles asked him, teach us how to pray. We want to know how to pray. And he said, pray like this. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And you know the prayer. Now, the English version we know is very common. It's throughout the English-speaking world. You basically say it in one way with the thys and these and thous. But we as Catholics have a patrimony of the Our Father being in Latin from the Vulgate. And so what we're going to do is, for the vigil of Holy Days of Obligation, as we're doing our Gregorian Masses, we're going to add in the Our Father in Latin. Why is it important that we as Catholics know this, or at least exposed to it in some way? Because it's your history, it's your patrimony, it's your church. We're Roman Catholics, and it's only sensible that we are able to hear and pray in our native tongue. I mean native not to our land, but native to our church, the history of our church. We go back to the Church of Rome. The Pope is the Bishop of Rome. And so it's good that we have this. But we need to practice. We need to know what we're saying. So you're going to see the lyrics, or the lyrics, like the second track in Jesus' LP, Our Father. No, you're going to see the words of the Our Father in Latin. So I'll pronounce them with you as you read them on the screen. Pater Noster, qui es in caelis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in caelo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimitimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo. Sed libera nos a malo. But deliver us from evil. And so we're going to chant it, though. We're going to chant it. And you might be saying, this is hard, Father Brad. This is hard. You went to seminary for 9 years. Most people went for 8. I went for 9 because I'm slow. No, actually, I taught high school for a year. Yeah, and good things are hard. The best things are hard. The best things we have to work for, we have to strive for. And what's better than giving worship to God? What's better than receiving His grace through the Mass? And so, yes, it is hard. Let's practice. Have you watched this YouTube video 100 times? Have you watched it 150 times? Right? If Brian Kelly had one of his players come up to him and said, Coach, this playbook's real hard. If Jaden Daniels came up to Brian Kelly and said, this playbook is really hard, I don't know if I can do it, he wouldn't be starting. But Jaden Daniels didn't do that. He's probably going to win the Heisman. Now, hopefully he does, because I'll look dumb if he doesn't and people look back on this video later. But because he sat down, he worked, he studied, he knows the playbook back and front. So we can't complain. We can't say we want our faith, worship of God, to be easy. No, we give our whole selves to it. Got a little intense, sorry. So we're going to sing it. Here we go. You can sing it along. Pater Noster, qui es in caelis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in caelo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimitimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo. We've been chanting this prayer in this way for 1,000 years. We've been praying this prayer with this language for over 1,000 years. And this prayer goes back all the way to Jesus himself. He said, pray like this. And he gave us the Our Father. Let us worthily proclaim it together after you practice, after you're ready, this December 7th and every vigil for the holy days of obligation.